Well, I'm super stoked to be talking to this guy because I'll be honest with you, I've been admiring him from a distance on Instagram for a little while. Their new CD is called Pressure. It's available on October 16th via Snake Farm Records. You can go pre-order that, pre-save it, pre-download, do whatever you got to do to get it into your life. Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. Pressure. Go and get it. Welcome to the show, Tyler Bryant.
How are you, dude?
I'm good. Good to see you, man.
Dude, that jacket is dope.
Oh, sweet. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to push record, and there we go. Yeah, I just got this. It's a Christian Benner.
Oh, nice, dude. That's my boy.
Yeah, he's the coolest dude ever. I'm a big Def Leppard fan. So
Cool.
Phil Collin has like the signature PC1 that he hand painted, and this is kind of like an homage to it. Like it's got the like on the back,
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
it's got all the green and everything. But I was
Man.
like, it's got to have a little bit of bling like on the shoulders, to kind of make it pop a little.
Yeah, man. I bought one of his jackets 2 records ago, before we started shooting videos and stuff. And I lived in that jacket forever.
I mean, listen, are you really a rock and roll guitar player if you don't have a Christian Benner jacket at this point?
Yeah, you got to have good leather.
So tell me about this new song, because I was reading in the press release that this was written before the pandemic all kicked off, but it kind of rings a hell of a lot more true now that we're kind of dealing with this whole madness.
Yeah, dude, I know. I mean, that's the cool thing about songs is, certain songs that I've written over time have just taken on new lives, as things change and as you grow and experience different things. And Graham Whitford, who's the other guitarist in the Shakedown, he and I wrote Holding My Breath long before the pandemic or any of the madness that is 2020. And when we started cutting this new album, Pressure, Graham and Caleb brought that song back to my attention because I honestly had forgotten all about it. And we listened to it together and just thought, these lyrics they feel like they were written for this, Yeah. But the truth is, like, people have been waiting on better days for a long time, I mean, that's just something you experience as you're living, you experience stuff where you go, I'm ready for this to be over and something better to come along.
No, totally. Dude, the world's fucked, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, it just is what it is, and you got to make the best out of it. And that was the whole point of making this record is, I know a lot of artists are choosing not to release new music right now, but like that we need it, we need it. We need it. And so we were like, let's make a record and let's like basically look at the pressure that we're all feeling, especially as like we're fish out of water right now. We're a rock band with no shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's take the pressure and make something radical with it. And that's sort of like what we came up with.
Well, that's the whole thing. I was talking to my buddy Mitch LaFawn about this, where like, all these bands that are kind of holding back their releases and like, oh, I don't want to put us out because we're not going to be able to go make money on the road with it and this and that. But I'm like, well, maybe now's a good time for you to maybe reinvent yourself, have a little bit of fun with your music, do some things that you wouldn't necessarily do, put it out there, see what the fans are willing to accept. It's like everybody has time in their hands to just sit at home and listen to music or watch some stuff online. And it's like, now's the perfect time to put it out there. Everybody has disposable income because, A, nobody's working and there's nothing to go out and do. Like me, I've spent more money on music in the last like 6 months than I have, like, I think in forever. Yeah,
dude. I mean, well, it's crazy. We started pre-sale for our new album and it's doing better than our last record already,
Nice.
And I think it's like, think about it. Like if you have a restaurant in your neighborhood that you love and they're struggling, you're going to go there because you want it to be there whenever this shit is over.
Yes.
And
exactly.
So we felt a tremendous amount of love from our, like, the fan base that we've spent so long to just like grow. And it's been pretty overwhelming, to be honest with you, just because people are like, hey, we're ready to be behind you and we're going to be there whenever we can be. So I love it.
Well, you guys have been kind of killing yourself, on the road the last couple of years, just, kind of opening up for some of the biggest bands in the world. It's like, I've been kind of like quietly admiring you, like just by following on Instagram and stuff the last couple of years. And I'm like, holy shit, like these dudes are like, opening up for Guns N' Roses and they're playing stadiums and.
Isn't that nuts? That's just so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sick. I love it. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've felt like so out of place this year just because we're a band that does like upwards of 200 shows a year.
So it must be like really fucking weird to be sitting at home doing nothing.
Well, it's I got married. I got married in October, so almost a year ago, and I've been able to like spend time with my wife and but I keep like catching myself going, dude, you can't get too domestic. You got to roll at some point, you know.
Like,
But
no, Tyler Bryant can't be sitting at home taking the trash out, being
no,
lovey-dovey.
I know. I've definitely been feeling the itch to like get out and just destroy some venue, you know.
Yeah. Well, when's the last
But
show you guys did?
we played with Clutch in Asheville, North Carolina at the Orange Peel on December 28th.
Oh man, dude, that's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. I haven't gone this long without playing a show since I was a little kid.
Jeez.
But it's cool, man. You know, we made a record. I made a record for my wife's band, Larkin Poe.
Yeah.
Well, they made the record. I just recorded it with all my. I've basically just been spending all the money I don't have on recording gear. I'm like, what else am I gonna do? I have to make music, and we were able to make the Shakedown record, and I've been working on this low-down bluesy gospel record. You know, it's just like finding different ways to stay creative and inspired by music.
Yeah, you're keeping busy. When I say, we're not doing anything at home, I'll use that term really loosely because as musicians, it's kind of like we're just constantly doing something.
Yeah, I never turn it off. It's always there's always something, you know.
Hey, I'm buddies with Adam Hamilton, and I saw that I saw you did a session for William Shatner's new thing.
Oh yeah, I did that too. That's another thing I did during lockdown.
So talk to me about that. Were you a big Bill Shatner fan, Star Trek over here, or was it kind of
No,
like...
I'm not gonna lie. I've never even seen Star Trek.
Dude, neither have I. I'm a Star Wars guy, so
I've never seen it, but I've seen enough stuff that he's in to where I know that he's a legend.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got this pack. I went to the mailbox the other day and I had a package in the mail, and it was from William Shatner, and it was like a signed CD saying, "Dear Genius, thank you for playing on my record." That was so sick.
That's just so cool, though.
Yeah, I actually got called by Billy Gibbons about doing it. He was like, "Hey T, I'm overseeing this project from Mr. William Shatner. Can I recommend you?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Nice. So what did you play? Like, obviously you played guitar, but like, what's the vibe of the song that you did?
Well, so they sent me. He does a lot of like classic blues covers, and so they basically said pick whatever song you want to play. And I had just acquired this badass Flying V.
Oh, nice.
And so I chose the Albert King song just so I could play a Flying V on an Albert King song.
Nice.
You know?
Do you have the Flying V there?
Yeah, it's in the other room. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on. Let me find it. It's pretty bad to the bone.
I love Flying Vs.
This one was made in Georgia, handmade by this one guy in Georgia. It's a gold top Flying V.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Isn't that sick?
Damn.
So yeah, this guitar's been like all over all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I just absolutely love it.
What kind of pickups are in that thing?
You know, it's the guy who made it. His name is Matt Hughes. He has a company called Banker, and it's all it's like real Carina, and he hand wound the pickups for it.
Wow.
And I know this because he came over to my house and put them in, because it originally had these insane pickups in it, and then I was kind of hesitant to change them, but these actually do sound better. So I don't know what they are, but he made them.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I took a spill whenever we were out on tour with Stone Temple Pilots and Rival Sons last year, and I just hadn't had a haircut in a long time, and my hair was like, it was just all in my face, and I just didn't see it, and I walked into a wedge like a monitor, and with the Flying V, and just ate shit. It was awful.
like face plant.
Totally in front of like a sold out crowd.
Oh man!
But I still have all my teeth, and the guitar still works, so it's all good.
Big win. Big win right there.
Win for the home team.
So talk to me about this new CD. It's called Pressure, coming on October 16th. In regards to the sound of the album, I was talking to Steve Stevens about this from Billy Idol. And I was saying, he's like, yeah, we're working on a new album. We're going to new music, this and that. And I was like, okay, well, let me ask you this. What's the album gonna sound like? Are we gonna try and recreate the sound of the 80s and have that big explosive production? Or are we gonna go with a modern kind of sounding Billy Idol where it's that Pro Toolsy mid-range kind of modern sounding tone? Because everything old is new again. And if you listen to pop radio, The Weeknd, Dua Lipa, everybody's sounding like 80s pop music. Whereas on
Yeah,
the
see,
rock,
I'm completely unaware.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's nuts. And whereas on the rock side, everybody's kind of got this, I guess, looking for that nostalgic kind of 70s less is more style production. And specifically the music that you make. The production style definitely goes hand in hand with the sound of the music.
Yeah.
So, you talk about the guitar tones or even like the processing on the vocals, that distorted kind of it's almost
Right.
like you use that microphone they use for the like a harmonica kind of thing, like a
Yeah, yeah, I
megaphone
have a lot
style.
of those. Yeah.
Megaphone
Yeah.
style effect. Talk to me about the production of the album because are you guys going to have that style, that kind of sound, that grungy, bluesy tone that we've kind of known to know?
Yeah, there's definitely, well, I mean, we recorded the record in lockdown. So we recorded the record in my home studio. And we didn't use any drum samples. There's no like 80s drum replacements.
Damn.
There's no like big gated reverbs. We were like, yo, if we're gonna make a record in a basement, let's make it in the basement and basically
Yeah.
like let our core fan base into our creative space. And that was sort of the goal of the record, was to embrace the limitations that we were surrounded by, of not being able to go into a studio, just basically just being locked in with each other in the band and our friend Roger Allen Nichols, who's basically like a band member to us.
Is he kind of
And
like
yeah,
your
we tracked a lot of this stuff completely live, like down and dirty.
nice?
It's just it's a gut punching record.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I was looking at the track listing for the album, and like 90% of the album is a one-word title.
Mm.
Was that like was that part of the thing? You're like, was that a preconceived kind of thing? Said, hey, one-word titles. Let's get a word and write a song. Like, how did you write these songs, and how did you come up with these titles?
To be honest with you, this is news to me.
Really?
I'm just learning this.
Dude,
Yeah,
I was literally looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like it's like 90% of the track listing. Wait, I could read it off to you right now. Coastin', Fever,
Yeah.
Loner, Fuel, Misery, Wild Side, Automatic, Backbone, Hitchhiker, Pressure. Dude, there's three songs that aren't just one word titles.
Hey, that sounds pretty badass when you read it off like that.
It does.
Yeah. No, dude, it's, there's more than one word in each song, so I guess we have that going for us.
Right. Well, that's good. Be bad if you were just like, Wild Side, Misery. Just one word the whole song.
Honestly, I feel like Iggy Pop could get away with that.
Oh, totally.
Have you ever heard that Iggy Pop song, Batman? It's like this, it's the Stooges, and basically Iggy Pop I think it's called Batman, and he just goes, Batman!
The whole time?
Batman! Yeah, I mean, for a better part of this song, it's rad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the writing process was like, some of the songs like Hitchhiker, we just wrote it in the studio, and it's a fun rock and roll song about temptation. Don't give the devil a ride because it won't be long till the devil wants to drive.
Nice.
That kind of thing. And then Automatic is a song that I wrote with a couple friends of mine prior to even thinking about making a record. And for me, that song is so fun to play and sing because the lyrics as the singer just get me completely hyped. The song starts 999 lives too fast to crash, won't apologize. And it's like, I love that idea of too fast to crash. I can just see that being a badass tattoo,
Yeah, or a great merch item.
Skeleton, our bird school man on a go-kart with flames, too fast to crash.
Nice. So when you go to write these songs, do you write them with the intention of you enjoying singing them? Is there anything in the catalog that you're just kind of like, meh, I don't feel like singing this. I don't like it.
Not on this record. I mean, there are a couple songs in the past, where I feel like I'm at a different place in my life than I was when I wrote those songs. And I guess,
Mm,
that's kind of the goal as a songwriter, is to hopefully write timeless songs that you'll want to sing for forever. But yeah, all of these songs are personal to me in some way, shape, or form. And, they're the songs that I, I feel passionate when I'm singing right now.
right. So how do you write a song? You sit there, try and remember some life that you lived, throw down some words, or is it melody for you, or is it a guitar lick? Do you record a track and then and then you come in with lyrics and melody, or what? How does it work for you?
It's a little bit of all of those things.
Yeah.
There's not really like a rhyme or reason. My process is kind of all over the place. And sometimes it's like it starts with Caleb coming over here and jamming a drum groove and me setting up an amp and us just rocking out, and then before I know it, I'm screaming words and I don't even know where they're coming from or
Yeah.
what it's gonna be, and then you have a song. And then sometimes it'll start with a title. Like I'll tell you that song Fuel. I had this basically a relationship, like a business relationship end that I'd been in for quite a while, and I was kind of going, man, I feel really like sad about the way this had gone down, and
Mm.
it's not Noah Denny, our bass player. Because if Shakedown fans are listening to this, they might think it's because Noah Denny, our old bass player, left the band after 8 years,
Mm.
which we're actually like on really great terms and like probably better friends than ever. But
Mm.
like, yeah, I had a publishing deal, and I'd been there just for like I'd been there for like a year, and then the company got bought and they let a lot of artists go, and
Oh.
I was just so, because it hurt my pride, where I was like, why did they let me go? Like, I can write songs,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm playing stadiums with Guns N' Roses. Like, why are you gonna drop me?
Yeah, I know. It actually turned out to be great because I own the publishing on just about every song on this record. So
Oh,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
dude, that's big. Get it in an Applebee's commercial, this new single, and you're rolling in the dough.
I know. So, but I wrote this song called Fuel, which is like, you give me fuel, and that was like a moment where I was taking something in my life that was bringing me down and trying to turn it into something that was empowering, which that's sort of I feel like the vibe of this record with Pressure, because everyone in the world is feeling pressure right now, and you just got to find a way to channel it into something. These songs are just feelings channeled into music. That's all it is.
Right. What made you want to play the blues?
Oh man. Well, it's just the way it made me feel. It made me feel good. I met this guy named Roosevelt Twitty. I got his name tattooed here on my
Nice.
wrist so I can remember it. But yeah, I heard him playing in a music store in Texas, and he said, "Do you like the blues?" And I said, "I don't know what it is." And he's like, "This is the blues." And he was playing in the style of Lightning Hopkins, but he was
Mm.
singing Texas Blood by Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I was just mesmerized by the sound and the feeling, and I became best friends with him and started going over to his house, every day after school and just listening to records. And, I just became obsessed with the blues. And then I heard the Black Crowes when I was 15. And I realized that the Crowes were basically playing blues, but it was
Yeah.
just louder and, more distorted and energetic. And I thought, cool, I'm gonna play rock and roll as an excuse to convince my friends to listen to the blues. And I became more and more obsessed with rock and roll and all that stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, I have a similar story with me, and like, I'm a big fan of like '80s shit. Like
Yeah,
Van Halen's my favorite band of all time, and Kiss
killer.
and
Yeah,
Motley Crue and Def Leppard. I mean, with the jacket and everything. So it's funny that you say that. Growing up, discovered this guy, started hanging out with him through high school, and then he introduced you to stuff. Same thing with me. That's exactly how I found my love for my favorite shit. So
it's awesome.
it's funny how that works.
That's killer, dude.
So for like a blues newbie like me, if I wanted to try and like start getting into like some really cool blues shit, like who should I be listening to?
Man, I would listen to this live record called Albert King Livewire Blues Power. That song alone, I used to just listen to, and he doesn't, there's not a lot of lyrics. He basically just tells a story about the blues, and then he just plays guitar, but the emotion in the way he plays the guitar is so cool. I'd listen to Freddie King. I'd listen to BB King live at the Regal. And then I'd listen to Johnny Winter.
Mm,
So
okay.
those are some of my favorites.
Taking notes.
Yeah, man.
I love it. So what kind of influences are we gonna hear on this new album? Are you channeling any of those guys? Like, are you sitting there? How do you come up with a guitar solo for your songs? Are you going like, oh man, BB King did this. Maybe I'll try and do an homage to him in this situation, or
I normally try to hear it in my head first what I want to do. And then most of the solos are completely improvised.
mm,
I'm not a theory guy. I'm not classically trained. I learned to play from listening to records.
right?
I'm
I
just
feel like that's the best way to learn and how to be creative, though, because if you go to school and you get taught the thing, and it's just like there's no room for creativity at the end of the day because you're just so.
I hate math. You know what I mean? I can't count and play. I hate it.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm supposed to like count and play, I just my brain just shuts off, and so that's why so much of the Shakedown record is improvised. It's like, hey, let's play. How long are we going to do this section for? Until it feels like we're not supposed to do it. That kind of thing. But yeah, the solos are. I just kind of improv, and I certainly take influence from a lot of those guys like BB King. There'll be a tip of the hat here and there. But then it's definitely, I think the goal is to definitely try to do your own thing with it and develop your own sound and take it somewhere new. I get so bored with like these regurgitated blues albums. I want it to go further than where it was. I don't want to just like listen to a time capsule record unless it's the real thing.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's like you listen to some guitar players today and they sound like everybody else. Whereas, if you listen to you, like when I hear your stuff, I know it's you immediately just because of the sound, the feel, your vibrato, just like everything. You have, I think in 2020, you honestly have I think you are one of the most iconic guitar players in the world right now.
Damn, dude, that's a huge compliment. Thanks for saying that. I mean, I don't know about all that, but I'd love to.
No, believe me, take my word for it. It's true.
Man. That's very cool, man. I just love to play, and it's one of those things. Like there's some killer guitar players right now. Like with Instagram alone, you can.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You can spend like an hour like finding 57-year-olds that can play you under the table, which I think is awesome. I see these kids and I'm like, dude, you're playing like a virtuoso.
Yeah.
And are you even potty trained yet? That kind of thing. Awesome.
Yeah. It's like me when I was like, 12 trying to figure out how to play like Eddie Van Halen. YouTube was just sort of in its infancy, and now you just go on there and
So the guitar I've used a lot on this new record actually has a Van Halen pickup in the bridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll show it to you.
Yeah. Is it like a Wolfgang pickup or is it a Frankenstein pickup?
It's just this it's just this custom thing that Fender sent to me, but it just has an Eddie Van Halen humbucker. I don't know the details of it.
Yeah, it's probably an EVH Wolfgang pickup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Strat that got lost?
No.
Is that a new one?
That one. Yeah, I've got the ones that got lost. So yeah, my main guitar got stolen and was missing for 5.5 years.
Yeah, dude, I was following that. I was like watching the chronicles unfold before my eyes on Instagram, and then when you finally got it, that was like a year ago or something, right?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit longer than that. It was
yeah.
I should know the exact date, but I don't. But yeah, it was missing for 5.5 years, and it ended up it never left Spokane Valley, Washington. And some guy went into a used car dealership with the guitar in the back of the car and basically traded it for $1,000 off of whatever car he was getting to the owner of the car dealership, who was in a cover band. And he sent a picture of it to this guitar shop in Spokane and said, just got this guitar, what's it worth? And they said, we're buying that from you. That's Tyler Bryant's guitar.
Oh.
And they bought it and sent it to me.
That's epic.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. It just goes to listen, at the end of the day, the music community is pretty small, and somebody's gonna know someone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's what I love. I feel like the sense of community in the music industry is actually getting tighter because of all of this,
Yeah. No, totally. What do you got going on in your home studio? Like, how did you record this? Are you using like a Universal Apollo? You got the thing, or?
Yeah, dude. I'll show you. I'll give you a little brief tour. I have so much stuff. I've got 4 of the Apollos actually. I've got some cool tube gear there, like some compressors, and then there's some more
Nice.
stuff, and
It's
the
a proper studio
1176
you got going on there.
LA2A. I just got these 1073s, which sound amazing. But yeah, just I'm a nerd. I'm an audio nerd.
No, I totally, me too, man. It's like my studio. I'm doing everything digital right now, and I'm thinking about getting some outboard gear, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what, these
Dude,
Universal Audio, these 1073s, they sound pretty legit, you know?
no, dude, the Universal Audio stuff's amazing. I have a little rig that I take with me on the road, and I'm able to do sessions from wherever I'm at, and
Yeah.
that the UA stuff, I can't say enough good things about that. And if you're getting killer stuff without buying the outboard gear, it's so expensive. All the outboard stuff is just, it's a black hole, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
especially
been trying to like scrape my way out of it, and then I get an ad on Instagram for something on Reverb, and I'm like, God.
like, damn it, I don't need this, this 1176, but okay, I guess
Yeah.
I'll do it,
The way I've been justifying it is like, because a lot of people have been offloading gear, and it's like, oh, this guy probably had all of his gigs canceled, so if I buy this gear from him, then it's probably helping him out.
Dude, I'm the same way. That's exactly how I think. I'm like, oh man, you know what? He's probably doing really rough right now. Fuck, maybe I'll go buy that guitar off of it. Give it a good home.
Meanwhile, the guy who's selling it is going, sucker, I'm getting all the same sounds with my UA stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
I think there's something romantic about having, knobs to turn. It's like pretty fun to just kind of, I just like having toys to tinker with. It's, you dial in down, and then all of a sudden you're inspired to do something, and
it's a little bit more gratifying than clicking a mouse on a screen.
yeah. Yeah, but then again, like, the Universal Audio guys have just been so supportive of, us in this process, and, like helping me out with some plugins.
Yeah,
and,
like,
and
hey man,
like
here's 2 G's worth of plugins. Go have some fun.
dude, I had a blast using that stuff, because the entire new record was recorded using no outboard gear, only Universal Audio Unison pre's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard the single at least.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds
yeah.
massive. It sounds great. It sounds clean.
Yeah, it's huge. There's no console, there's no like real outboard gear. It's all UAD.
That's amazing just how far technology's come, where it's like you can actually do an entire organic sounding record from your home entirely digital.
Yeah, we had 18 tracks of it going at once, and that was all we ever used. We barely used that. It was mainly 16 tracks a song.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah.
Damn. That's probably like the least amount of track count of any rock record this year.
I mean, we kind of go for trying to get the sound of the band, without doing too much, I think because we shine as a live band, like a band that's on stage playing live, and always been the goal to try and capture that, which is it's difficult to do when there's not an audience, but who knows?
Well,
I'm excited for people to hear it.
You could just throw a crowd swell into your in-ears and you're golden.
Most of this record, we didn't even use headphones on.
Oh, so it was that live.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I hate using headphones. Like, I hate singing with headphones. I just, so most of it was, there was no headphones.
So even live, you don't use in-ears, wedges, that's it?
I prefer wedges. There have been a couple tours that we've had to do where we had to use in-ears just because they weren't carrying wedges. And also like, when we were on the road with AC/DC, I had like 8 wedges for myself, that were like spread across the stage because it's a huge stage.
Yeah, massive.
So like I'll be playing through 200-watt Marshalls, and then I run, however far to my left, and I can't hear my guitar at all because it's so big. And so that is the benefit of using in-ears in those big spots, is you can actually hear wherever you go.
Yeah. Hey, when you're on the road with AC/DC versus Guns N' Roses, is there like any limitations as to how far you're allowed to go on the stage? Like, oh, there's certain parameters. Don't cross this threshold. Don't cross here. You're not allowed to use the catwalk. Like, is there any of that type of drama on the tour?
It's not drama. It's just like AC/DC. It was pretty common sense. If your name was not Angus Young, then you didn't go on the catwalk. Like I remember the first show we did. I asked the stage manager. I said, "Can I go out there?" And he just laughed at me. He just laughed. And he goes, "Is your name Angus Young?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Then you can't go out there." And I was like, "Cool, got it." Um, and then, but with Guns N' Roses, their catwalk is a lot smaller. It's just sort of a box at the front. And they're like, "Yeah, go out there, jump up on the wedges, whatever you want."
Oh,
So,
nice.
but it's a little different than a catwalk that goes out into the middle of the stadium, you know?
Yeah, it's just a smidge different. I love it. Did you see the big AC/DC teaser that came out today?
I did.
Yeah. You know
I did.
anything? Are you going to be like the opening slot, or what's the deal there? What's the hot goss?
I know nothing. I know nothing. I've been refreshing their Instagram account all morning, waiting to see.
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting on a song or I'm waiting on something. They're about to just blow everybody's mind.
But yeah, I know. That's the thing. It's like, what do they have planned? When you're on the road with them, did they have a recording studio in the back room or anything? Or
No, I don't know. I mean, they could have, but
yeah.
they're very
Did you get to
private.
hang out with them at all, like on the road, or is it kind of
Yeah.
like we do our thing, we're our private company, and that's it? You leave us alone.
No, I mean, I think our MO when touring with big bands is to fly comfortably under the radar,
Yeah.
which I think is probably part of the reason we've been asked to go on so many big tours is because we show up on time, we get on stage, we rock, and then we go to our room and hang out until we leave.
You're not a
Um,
pain in the ass.
yeah, we try not to bother people, but there have been a couple times where, we got invited into AC/DC's kind of compound and I got to spend a little time with Angus
Nice.
and yeah, I mean it was really really fun. Like when I first met Angus, he was eating a turkey sandwich, and I was like, "Dude, you're a human like me." That is weird. You
like,
know?
like, dude, you're a god. You should be eating the hearts of every shitty guitar player out there.
I know. I thought you were gonna be eating like Satan's Cheerios or something. Um, and but yeah, I mean, like the first time I got to talk with Angus, he was like, "Yeah, I've been hearing you every night. You've been really getting the crowd going. They've been really roaring for y'all." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Dude.
And I was just like, "Well, we're learning a little bit from, each night from watching you guys. Like this is going to Stadium Show College, getting to watch you perform every night."
Yes.
And he was like, "The goal," or he said, "if you believe you're going to take them on a journey, then they'll come with you." And I was just like, "Oh my God,"
That's
it's
that's philosophical.
I know. So it was
Damn.
it was really cool to get to hang out with them. And when my wife and I got married in October, we got a nice bottle of champagne and some hand painted champagne glasses from Angus and his wife, which was pretty cool.
That's cute.
I have a little note hanging on the fridge.
That's awesome. You gotta
Yeah.
love that. You know, you can't buy that shit.
No, I know. I feel so fortunate that we were able to, because we had to audition for that tour. We got 3 shows as an audition for
What?
ACDC. Yeah, we were out on tour with Billy Gibbons playing an acoustic tour, and then basically this we used to be at CAA and we left CAA, and our old booking agent called and said, "Hey, can I get you the ACDC tour?" And I was like,
Wow.
"You don't even represent us anymore, and you're gonna do that?" And yeah, dude, he said, "I got you a 3-show audition, and if Angus likes you after that, then you can do all of America." So
Wow.
so we did 3 shows. We did Tacoma, Washington. We did uh, Las Vegas and Denver. And then after Denver, we didn't hear anything. Like they didn't tell us like we got the gig or didn't have the gig. So I was immediately like palm sweaty thinking, what do I have to quit? Like if Angus thinks we suck, then we most definitely suck. Like I have to stop.
Yeah.
And so we just drove to the next show. We drove to the next show and we're like, maybe we're supposed to go. And I ran into some people from the tour in the hall, and I was like, "Have you heard anything? Like, are we supposed to be? We're in Fargo at this point. We're like, are we supposed to be here?" And they're like, "Nobody told you." Angus decided after the first show that you guys were on, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! Like, I haven't even slept. Like I've been freaking out."
Oh man, that's just brutal.
And then they gave us the entire European tour, so we got to go to Europe for the first time with AC/DC, and they treated us so incredibly cool. And when Brian Johnson had his hearing issues and kind of had to bow out of the tour or whatever happened, I don't know what happened. When Axl Rose came on, that's how we met Axl, and that's why we got all the Guns N' Roses tours.
Damn. So I mean, Angus, you could thank him.
Yeah. Oh, I can thank him for so much, man. They were so good to us.
That's nuts. And I mean, after playing stadiums and, being on the road with AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, it must be tough to go back and play a small club because you're like, ah.
It's funny. I talked to Angus about it because I was like, man, I get pretty nervous before going out in front of, this many people every night. And he's like, oh, I get nervous at going in front of a small club, because they're so close. They can see you so well. I feel very at home, in small venues, but I love the interaction, at a big show, especially like a big support show. Those people are there to see AC/DC, and we're just lucky to have the opportunity to try and prove ourselves.
Yeah.
At a club show where we're headlining, we've already earned those fans, so we can just kind of have a big rock and roll celebration. So it's two different ways to look at it for me.
I love that. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. That's like we go out to the AC/DC shows knowing we're essentially plastic wrap on a record they've been waiting for. Like they're ready to rip us off and get to the record,
No.
So we have to basically just fight for the attention, and also we're not getting the lights, we're not getting the screens. We have to just rely on the music and our energy. Whereas if it's a headline show in a club, we can kind of do whatever we want.
Yeah. And hey, the music and the energy does all the talking for you because damn, what a live band you guys are. I can't wait to see you guys live. It's going to be great. 2021, you going back on the road?
I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so.
Well,
there's no like concrete plans yet, but I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to this new album, Pressure. It's available on October 16th. You can pre-order it now, go pre-save it, download it, buy the thing. So, he gets your money and he can buy some more vintage analog gear and keep blowing up his studio. And
I got to plug our album release show, too, on October 16th on our website. We're doing a full album release show, playing the majority of the new album, some old songs. And there's going to be some killer studio footage, like from the making of the album.
Oh, cool.
As well included. So that's going to be a cool event.
Very nice. So to coincide with the album coming out, album release party.
Yeah. And the band is going to be in a chat, basically just hanging out with fans, and we're going to have some special guests in the chat as well. So it's a pre-recorded show that will air on the album release day.
Oh, sweet. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Well, October 16th, go get it. Are you guys going to be pressing any vinyl?
Yeah, the bright red, man. You'll love it.
Oh, dude, I need to get a copy. Get my hands on that.
Microphone.
Exactly. It's got to go with it, I love it. Well, thanks a lot for chatting, man. I know we went a little late, but, thanks a lot for chatting, and this was awesome. It was great to meet you.
Hey, man, great to meet you, man. Keep it stylish, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll see you later.
Later, brother. Peace.
There you go. Tyler Bryant, man. That was so cool. October 16th, brand new album is out. It's called Pressure. He worked hard on that thing, man. And I heard a couple of tracks since we've done the interview, and I got to tell you, it's just so good. You are going to love this thing. So go pre-order that. Thanks a lot for hanging out on the Jeremy White Podcast. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Please go like and subscribe and do the whole thing. I hate sounding like a YouTuber, but honestly, it does help. It reminds you to go and subscribe and follow the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple. By the way, you could tell your smart speaker, it's super simple. Play the Jeremy White Podcast. You could just tell your Siri, tell your Echo, tell Alexa, tell Google, and it does it. It's very simple. All right, make sure you go like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.